Hello, you guys. Oh my god. I have this huge bottle of water. Look at this that I bought today. Put that over there. It is like 12:30. I'm getting ready to go listen to my audiobook. There's like 2 hours left and I want to finish it. And then I was just on Goodreads. I was just on Audible. And I was like, every year they come out with the Man Booker shortlist. You guys know what that is? So it's kind of like the Pulitzer kind of, but not really. And they pick out like really important books that you should read for that year. And there was this Paul Auster book called 4321 that I want to read. But I just looked at it on Audible and it's 37 hours. And that's like more of a commitment than I can make to a book on Audible. And then I saw this one called History of Wolves. And I think that I just got it actually on Audible. So I think that's the next book that I'm going to listen to. It's about this girl that grew up or she's like 14. She lives in this commune with her parents. And so anyway, I have had such a phenomenal day today. Do you ever just have those days? I mean, like, I feel like, I know it's crazy to say this, and a lot of you out there that are really healthy will probably say, no, that's not crazy at all, but like, I feel like since I have gone vegetarian, like I just feel so much more positive on a daily basis. Like I feel so much better. And I don't know if it's the vegetarian or the not drinking the soda. I almost drank soda last night. I came so close. I was like, nope, Peter, you don't need it. I don't know if it's being a vegetarian or drinking the soda or drinking more water or getting good amounts of sleep. I don't know what it is. But I will say what's interesting to me about the water is that so many people have commented on my videos saying that they can tell a difference in my skin, and I really can too, which is crazy. But yeah, I just felt so good today. I got up and I had a couple meetings with some people, and then I filmed my videos in my office while I was on my lunch break. And then I outlined an idea for, I'm going to do a self-help book, because so many people say, I get messages, would you guys be interested in like, not so much a self-help book, but like words to live by? And I have two that I want to do. And one would basically be lessons that I learned from my mom. And it would be all told through stories of my mother and I, our life together. And then the second one is based on my old blog, and it's called Thoughts from the Couch. And cause I had if you want to check it out, I have like 4 blogs out there that I pay for every year to keep them going because I don't want to get rid of them. And it was called Thoughts from the Couch, and they were like lessons that I learned from clients, because I learned just as much from clients of mine in the past that I hope that they learned from me. So I was thinking about putting together 2 little books and then just like self-publishing them on CreateSpace or something, because I don't really, like, other than my big books, I miss blogging. I used to like write blog on a daily basis, and I miss it. But the reality is that that's a little longer of a process. Then I didn't really realize I missed it till today, when I was kind of just like jotting some notes about some stuff. And I thought, you know, like that would be fun for me, because basically both books would be personal autobiographical stories about lessons I had learned in life. So like, let's just say you like go to chapter 1 of the one with my mother, and it would be called like On Borrowed Time. And then I would tell you the story of how she started telling me that, because my mother used to always say to me, we're on borrowed time as it is, don't forget that. And it actually comes from her seeing the play Our Town back in the day, I think. So anyway, I almost just said I'll have to check with my aunt. Isn't that sad? My aunt's not around anymore. But okay, I'm running to get some gas. I actually wanted to read you a letter that I got. I just thought it was such a cool letter, and it was so inspiring. And I got it today on my at my post office. And she said I could share it, so I'm going to. Because it really was so endearing, and it meant a lot to me. And it is from Patty, and this is Patty's artwork on the front of it. Isn't that cool? She like makes her own cards, and it has her name on here and everything. Okay. She said, Dear Peter, it is very important. I'm going to leave another name out of here, but she said, well, I guess not. I guess if she said I could use it, I could use it. She said, it is very important to me to say thank you. On June 11th of this year, I reached a new low in my journey with alcohol. My adult daughter, Sarah, came to my rescue. I was not suicidal, just acting bizarre. I had worried and frightened her so much that she dropped everything and was back home in 5 hours. Sarah had been following you for some time, and on day 1 of my sobriety, June 12th, we made a plan. Daily, we would watch My So-Called Healthy Life, discuss its message and how its message related to us, which I have to just pause and say, I've been doing all weight loss stuff on there, but as a result of this, I'm going to start doing my meditations on there as well. I joined the 12-step program and entered my first meeting a frightened and ashamed woman of 66. Wow, that's courageous. I was so welcomed and overwhelmed by the kindness of these strangers listening to their stories. I was amazed that they already knew me and what I was feeling. One lady said to me, we will love you until you love yourself, which is a saying that we say. I left that meeting crying, feeling wonderful and full of hope. I love your daily meditations and topics. I try to grow every day for the better. You help me to trust honesty when speaking with loved ones, to try to remain open to new things, to be kind to myself, to heal and grow. Thank you for your kindness and guidance. I can't ever express my debt to you. When watching you, and you sometimes speak of the nasty words that some people leave in your comment section, well, fuck them. And remember that in this one person's life, the difference you make is immeasurable. Life is so much brighter, gentler, and serene, especially with my children. I am in your debt. Yours truly, Patty. You may use my name and country if you wish. Hope you like my drawing on the front. Oh, you guys, it's words like that. And Patty, congratulations if you're watching this. She didn't say she watched my vlog, but congratulations if you're watching this. And that is just so awesome. And it means so much to me. And, I never, when I started these channels, I never thought, I really didn't. Like, I never really thought that I would, like, you know, just by telling my story or, you know, my interpretation of somebody, it would affect their life in any kind of way. And I think that's why I sometimes get very, very frustrated on my main channel with these YouTubers. And I talk about, you know, how, like, you could be, like, these are people that have, like, millions and millions of subscribers, right? And they could be using that for something positive and putting out a positive message, but instead they want to do something that's belittling or hurtful to other people or encouraging negative behavior. So, Patty, thank you. Okay, you're a miracle. And I hope that your story touches somebody else and you continue to pass it on and share it. So, you know, that's the power of our stories. It's like I tell my story, then it affects somebody else's story, and then they affect somebody else's story, and we're all intermingled by that on some level. And I love that. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I think it's the purpose of life. I think, you know, it's the circle of life. And I think that it's what makes us all randomly interconnected, and how our stories, even though some of us will never meet or talk, all touch each other in a row. And I love that. I just think it's amazing. So, all right, I'm gonna get some gas. How expensive is it? Oh, it's down. It's $2.39. And I will be back in just a couple minutes. Okay, I'm back. I just realized you guys are probably like, because you just see me turn it off and turn it back on. You don't like see me get out of my car, pump my gas, talk to the strangers, all that kind of stuff. You're probably like, well, did you really go anywhere? I'm not going to talk for a long time tonight because I just really do want to listen to this audiobook. It was so funny because I almost took her card and put it behind my thing back here. And like, I am so killing for everything I get from the post office that's like mail. This is why a lot of times if you write me a letter, I sometimes forget to do it in a vlog because I take it and I put it back here, right? And then like last week, my car is completely spotless. I will show you. So back here, all I have is this 12-step pamphlets, Adele CD, and the Lemonhead CD that Ricky just got me. That's all I have in this whole thing back here. Oh my God! And a fidget spinner! I couldn't throw that away. And on the other side, I have my recovery text. And that's it. And I have meeting schedules for people, because whenever people need meeting schedules, here, I can't show you the front of it, but I can show you the back of it if it doesn't have anything on the back. So on the back of it, you can't see the program that it is, but so this is a meeting schedule. This is how many, if I can show you this, Do you see how thick it is? That's how many meetings there are just for one 12-step program in Indianapolis in a week. And so I saved these. Actually, my friend bought a bunch of them. They're like 75 cents. But I just save a bunch of them for people that are new. That way they have a directory of meetings and they know where to find meetings in Indianapolis. Because, baby, when you need a meeting, you need a meeting. You don't want to be like, okay, I need a meeting, I don't know when I'm going to get it. You know what I mean? So, and at a lot of meetings, they're free, no matter what program you go to, whether it's Narcotics Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, Gamblers Anonymous, Sex Addicts Anonymous, Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous. I will tell you that if you... This bottle will not stick in here. If you're looking for a program regarding, like, sex addiction... I don't know how to say this. Well, look into Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous, because I just think it's a more... I just support that program more a little bit. That's all I'll say. But, and if you are interested, if you don't really know anything about this and you're interested in listening to, like, some people's stories or whatever, you can put into YouTube AA speakers, or NA, which is Narcotics Anonymous speakers, or CA, which is Cocaine Anonymous, or OA. It'll pull those up. There's also a website called xa-speakers.org. If you Google XA speakers, like X, it'll come up, and just go to it. It has every 12-step program you have ever imagined. So if you're a family member or a friend of an alcoholic or an addict, you can get on there and you can listen to Al-Anon leads. And a lead is when somebody tells their story. So you can listen to Al-Anon leads, and you can listen to other people tell their stories of how they helped with their family members or how they worked their own program, which is what Al-Anon is about in relation to being, you know, a family member or a friend of an alcoholic or an addict. And, you know, maybe that's a way if you don't live in an area or you don't know how to educate yourself or you want to just listen to them. They're very interesting. You know, when Alex and I used to take road trips, and my ex and I too, I would make CDs of leads, and then I would just listen to them on the way down, you know, 10 hours of leads or whatever. And it's really fun. Like, Tanya and I, sometimes we talk too much in the car to, like, listen to them, but I always, like, if we're going on a road trip for she and I always bring one for the way there and the one for the way back, because it's kind of like a nice dessert. I mean, it's fun to listen to them. Like, people like that get up, they are some powerful speakers. If you can find Shirley, I can't remember what her last initial is, but she's an AA, she's like Shirley AA speaker. She's an AA, her husband's an Al-Anon, her daughter's an Al-Anon, her son-in-law's an AA. They live on this, like, she talks about it in her lead. I mean, you guys, if I can find it, I'll link it below. I mean, it's not that anonymous because it's up on YouTube, so I can talk about it, but it's fantastic, and they're so inspiring, and, you know, I always learn something about myself every time I hear people share, you know, and I just think that's what life is really all about, you know, Charlie Brown. That's what life is all about, is remaining teachable and, you know, becoming better versions of ourselves. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want on a daily basis, oh no, I don't want to be a better version of myself. I don't want to improve myself. I don't want to be a better husband, a better, you know, child, a better son, a better friend. No, I don't want that. Who would say that? Like, that kills me when people... Like, it's hard sometimes to hear criticism, and it's hard sometimes to hear people give you suggestions, which is why in my videos I try to do it in a very comical way, or I just come out at the end and I say, this is how I feel. I've had a couple of those YouTubers that I've talked about reach out to me and say, your words meant a lot to me. Tell me what you think I need to do to remain teachable. I really love that you say that. And that's not, I mean, it's not like I'm sitting up here going, well, let me tell you as the CEO of YouTube and God. You know, it's nothing like that. It's just that for any of us, you know, it's like, I don't say anything you all don't see when you're watching the same videos that I do. Let's just be for real, right? Maybe they'll just listen to it from me because I'm sitting in a video saying it. I don't know. But I just think that's the whole point of life, is staying teachable. I could go through there right now and eat a Big Mac at McDonald's like nobody's business. I've been craving McDonald's so bad lately. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I had to go through the bank machine. But anyway, Yeah, I just think that that's the whole idea of the world, you know? Is like, and when you become open to the world, you know, you become open to learning about different things. It's like, let me give you an idea of remaining teachable. Have you ever had a food that you thought was absolutely disgusting, but you had never had it, right? Okay, like, please do not judge me, but if you have to, I totally understand, right? But I eat my French fries always dipped in ranch. And I love to mix ranch and ketchup, okay? But for a very, very long time, I thought ranch with anything was disgusting, okay? I was like, oh no, that's gross. That's gross. I had one point of view. Couldn't see beside it, right? Couldn't see beside it. Couldn't see away from that one point of view. Then I ate them with French fries and I loved it, but nothing else, right? Okay, so a couple years ago, Alex's friend came home for Christmas and we were sitting around watching movies and she wanted to order a Domino's pizza, which is hands down the worst pizza in the entire world. I don't care what you say. It's worse than that Totino's dollar pizzas at the grocery store, which I love. But anyway, Sarah was like, when she was ordering the pizza, she was ordering all this ranch dressing things, you know? And I looked at her just like Scout up in To Kill a Mockingbird and I said, ranch dressing for pizza? That is so disgusting. What? And Alex looked at me. I mean, I can't believe that my favorite book in the entire world is To Kill a Mockingbird, but I can put somebody... I am so Scout. I think that's why I love that book. But anyway, she goes, have you never had pizza with ranch? And I was like, no, that's disgusting. She goes, will you please just try it? I go, no, that's gross. I don't want to try it. Y'all, you know I love some pizza with ranch today, okay? Don't even come. That is so Indiana country. I had a friend of mine. He and I were so close a couple years ago. I love him so much. And he went back out and started drinking and got arrested. And it's just sad story. But anyway, such a cool guy. And he was in the service industry for a long time, weight service industry. And we went to eat somewhere and I ordered ranch. And he was like, you didn't just really order ranch, did you? And I was like, yeah, why? And he was like, I just hate, he's like, I know. He goes, when somebody orders ranch for me, he goes, I know I'm not getting tipped very much. He goes, that's white trash. I go, oh, no, sir, you did not just say that to me. I said, I love ranch with everything. And I used to get potatoes. Like when I would go to breakfast, I always have to keep everything clean on my plate. I'm so OCD about 50 million things. But anyway, I get an omelet, keep my potatoes separate and stuff. Now I just put ketchup all over them. And I mean, I just love all that stuff, you know? And so like with food, I feel like I would have missed out on that. You know what I mean? If I had never tried it. If I hadn't remained teachable that, you know, oh, maybe there isn't something so disgusting about it. And that's just stupid. That's a stupid analogy, you know? I mean, I'm using ranch dressing, but like in the context of the real world, it's like, what do you remain teachable to? You know, like when somebody comes to me with an open heart and an open mind and says to me, like, they don't force religion on me, but they say, you know, like if you're ever open to hearing about my spiritual experience or whatever, I'm totally open to having that conversation because I don't know that I won't hear something I need to hear. And if I go, oh, no, I don't want to hear that. No, get away. I don't want to hear that. Then I'm not staying open to the experience of learning and remaining teachable, you know? With different, I mean, a couple years ago, Alex started getting tickets to this thing in Indianapolis called Dance Kaleidoscope. Well, I love going to see plays, but I don't love musical theater, ballet, opera. I just don't, okay? I think that shit's boring. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. Well, now this Dance Kaleidoscope thing, which is like this innovative ballet, is like one of my favorite things we do every year. I love it. It's so much fun, right? And I think that's just like what the world is about, you know? And I remember I had this supervisor back in the day, and I didn't love her because she wasn't my direct supervisor, but she was like the director of nursing. She was just kind of cold. But anyway, I've talked about her on here before. I can't believe I have, but I have. But anyway, I was so upset about this incident of something that had happened with a group room. So I worked on the adolescent unit and the adults, you know, we were sharing a group room and somebody had signed up for it anyway, the whole thing was a mess, right? Well, I knew I was in the right. I knew we were. You know, and I was the voice of my people in the adolescent unit. I knew we were in the right. And I said to her, I said, you know, I said, she came and talked to me about it, and then like a day went by, right? And I didn't hear anything about it. And I said, I cannot believe that you are not going to do something about this. And she goes, what are you talking about? And I said, I mean, like, it is pretty obvious what happened. It was like we had to sign up for it at the front desk for like a group room to use it for family night. And they like took the sheet that we signed up on and acted like they didn't see it and then signed up for it. It was some hocus pocus. I don't know. And, whatever happened, I mean, not that this matters, but in the end, we were right. It does kind of matter, though. No, it doesn't matter. But anyway, and she goes to me, well, how do you know that I haven't done something about it? And I go, well, they're still using that group room, and nothing's changed. You know, Mr. Peter, entitled. I mean, when I talk about these entitled YouTubers, do you think it might be because I see a little bit of myself in them, that back in the day I was a little bit like that? Because I was. We change and we grow if we remain teachable, right? She said, Peter, let me tell you something. When somebody brings an issue to me, she said, I listen to their side, I talk to the other side, and then I sit back and I wait. And then I give a response after I've thought about it for a couple days. I don't react, I respond. I was like, oh, okay. But what are you going to do about it? And she's like, I'm going to respond. You'll know when I do. You'll know the decision that I make. But I don't react to things. I wait till I have all the information, because there's two sides to every story, you know, whatever. That's been a really valuable lesson in my life. That has been something that I've really learned, you know, because I'm very reactionary. Like, something happens to me and I'm, like, right that. I have learned over time to teach myself to be more responsive and to respond to things and not react. Because when Peter reacts to things, Peter gets himself in trouble. There's a lot of hocus. Like, listen, when you see drama going on, this is about my drama channel. When you see something going on YouTube, I'm trying to think about this recent, like somebody saying a word while they're playing a video game, I won't be the first drama channel that makes that video. Because over the next 12 hours, what I've learned is a lot can come to light. A lot can change, right? So sometimes it's better to sit back and do your investigations, your research, kind of see what you really think about the situation, you know? When I react, I don't usually get the result that I want to get. When I react, I don't necessarily see the human being in people, no matter what the issue is. And it's not important for me to be right today. It's important for me to be happy. And that's one of the things that my sponsor used to always say to me, you know, whenever I would bring something to him about, well, you know, like, and this happened a lot with my ex, like we would fight about things and I'd say, well, he shouldn't have done this or he shouldn't have done that or whatever. And he'd say, well, would you rather be happier? Do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? Like, what's more important to you? Well, ask yourself that question in the middle of a situation, because I can tell you right now, there's a lot of times that in the moment you might say to yourself, I think I'd rather be right. But long term, would you really? Or would you rather be happy? Because long term, I'd rather be happy. And at the expense of giving up being right at the moment, I'm totally fine. I don't need to be right. You know what I mean? I do not need to be right. So if somebody comes to me and they're upset with me about something that I say or something that I do or whatever, I don't have a problem being wrong in that moment for them if that's what they need, you know? I get a lot of emails from people that are like, oh, I didn't like, you know, so-and-so's my favorite YouTuber of life. And, you know, it's like they love everything that I do until I make a video about somebody that they love. Well, that ain't how the world works, gal, okay? Just because I talked about somebody that you all of a sudden love doesn't mean that the 20 videos before that you thought were hilarious because I was talking about somebody else are any different. Let's just call a spade, right? Well, I don't respond to those. I just don't. There's no reason. There's nothing that I'm going to say in that moment to make that person happy. And so I've just learned over time, hey, maybe they just need to be heard. I read their emails, I read their texts or their direct messages, and, you know, sometimes I'll say, I'm sorry that you feel that way, you know, whatever, but respond, don't react. You get yourself in some trouble. I have. Woo! That's how I got written up for raging in clinical meetings back in the day. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ugh. Tomorrow, I actually have to go into my office to do a follow-up with this person. called me today and canceled at the last minute. Don't you hate that? My life's so busy. It's not. But they had 10 times. I was like, don't worry about it. Your day is so busy. And this is the difference between being right and being happy, okay? I could have fought him on it. I could have said, no, we'll meet next week during business hours. I got nothing going on tomorrow. Alex works all day at this conference. I thought, why not I make this person's life easier? Why, I can do that. That's easy. 1 o'clock in the afternoon ain't no thing. I can get up. I can throw on a t-shirt and pair of jeans and go in there and sit down for an hour and talk to this person about what's going on with this project that we're doing. I mean, you know? I feel like that's what I fight on a regular basis, is like, I come in contact with a lot of people that want to teach you something out of principle. You know what I mean? Like, and I remember years ago, I have this friend of mine, and she was telling me that as a hairstylist, like if somebody was 5 minutes late, her supervisor told her, if they're 5 minutes late, I don't care what's going on with them, don't see them, just bill them. And then the same week that they were told that, this woman came in and she was 15 minutes late, and my friend was going to tell her, like, I can't do your hair and whatever. And the woman sat down in the chair and she started talking right away, and she said, I'm so glad that you're willing to see me. I'm so sorry that I've been 15 minutes late. I found out an hour ago that my mother passed away, and I almost was going to cancel my appointment, but I thought that it would be really good for me to sit here and get my hair done and be able to just kind of relax and get out of my head. And she said, you know, in that moment I was able to be of service to her. And she said, and I didn't have to think about myself, and it wasn't about whether she was 15 minutes late or what, all of that kind of stuff. And she goes, when you meet somebody every day where they're at, you don't know what they just went through. You don't know what their life looked like before that, right? How many people do you come into in a contact on a daily basis that seem frazzled or whatever? You know, or how many surly bank people do you see? Or that's why I love when oh my God, when the people at coffee, like I go through Starbucks, I went through there today, and he like said, let me guess, your order is gonna be, and I love that. Like they know me, they're so friendly. If I say to them, how are you doing today? And they're like, it's a shitty day, I'm not having a good day. Hey, that's cool, we can have that conversation too, you know? But don't be reactionary to people. And you know, when you meet people in the street, if your day's going good, serve them with a smile and a nice thing to say and a compliment and a hug, because you don't know what they've just gone through. They may have just gone through the worst thing of their entire life, you know? I just don't understand why we can't be nicer, better people in this world. I just don't understand why that's such a hard concept, you know? I was reading, I was on Audible, and I was looking at this book that keeps on coming up. It's on the New York Times bestseller list. It's yellow. It's by this Mark so-and-so. I'm sure it'd be real funny. You know, it's one of those, I hope they serve beer in hell books, very cynical and sarcastic, and of course we need more of that, I think. But this guy on there, it was like, I was reading the synopsis, I was like, I've never read what this book is about. Y'all know what I'm talking about? It says the word fuck in the title. I don't know what it's called. But it's basically this blogger that's turned his blog into a book, and it's like, you know, we've been talking about positivity and motivation for the last couple of years in our life. Our world is still fucked up, and this is a combination of a man that just said, fuck that, I'm not getting with that positivity bullshit. Let's call it out for what it is. Let's call it out the truth. Okay. That made me real happy. Let's talk about our rights being taken away, how we're at the highest rate of unemployment, our economy sucks, gas is expensive, don't know how I'm going to buy my family Christmas presents this year. You know, I got a lot of friends of mine that are out there struggling that have relapsed this year. Oh, there's the reality of the world. Let me think about all that kind of stuff. People can't seem to get along. There's more violence in the streets now than there were 10 years ago. Hey, I think I'd really like to think about all that kind of stuff. Or maybe I'd like to think about what I can do to be more positive in the world and contribute more positively to the world. And I can tell you that ain't off of making a book to make $1 million off of talking about how fucked up the world is. We don't need any more of those naysayers. There's enough of them out there. And I don't care to play into that or pay into that at all. I think it's bullshit. Put on a smile, suit up, and show up and do your job as being a happy human being if you can. There's a lot of people out there that suffer from clinical depression. They suffer from bipolar disorder. They suffer from not having a damn job. They suffer from not being able to pay their damn bills. For the rest of us, we ought to be able to slap a smile on our face and talk to our good Judies about what we're going through and get some support from them. Make the world a happier place. Make somebody that's less fortunate than you more happier today. It's not that hard. I don't know. It just makes me sad sometimes, you know? My battery light's flashing yellow in my face. That means this is about to go off, so I guess I'll get off here now. Have any of you read that Negative Nancy Go Fuck Yourself book? It's probably really good, actually. Anyway, stay positive. Don't worry. Be happy. I love you guys.